siding with the enemy. How they betray and sell the motherland.
What interests you? We are interested in everything related to your work, your position. You'll be paid for the information you provide.
Tasting the Polish apple. A trap for agent recruitment.
I even got addicted to a drink. Because of this?
Because of those thoughts.
Turning a traitor and running to Poland. $6,000 in a regular package. Win or bust? Bust.
Warsaw makes a move and loses.
KGB operations to stop foreign intelligence activities.
The criminal code for espionage implies criminal liability if any act by a citizen is carried out on the orders of a foreign intelligence service.
KGB Counterintelligence of Belarus against Polish intelligence services. Agents and traitors. Watch. Right now.
Geographically, the city of Brest is the western gateway of Belarus, and symbolically, it is a city defender. A city that most often was the first to repel yet another invaders. The story we will tell you is about defense and attack, about betrayal, about a front that is not always visible. A person chooses the profession of a defender, a paratrooper, takes an oath, serves in various military positions in the city of Brest, and at some point finds himself on the enemy's side. Well, how does it happen?
Tell me, what is your attitude to Belarus, to the country where you live, where your family lives? This is my motherland, the only homeland that gave me and my parents the opportunity to live after the USSR collapsed.
Dmitry Anatolievich Pozniakov, a citizen of the Republic of Belarus born in Uzbekistan. Graduated from the Air Defense Faculty of the Military Academy of Belarus. Served as a platoon commander of the Air Defense Division of the 38th Separate Guards Brest-Vienna Air Assault Brigade. Then he was a deputy military commandant of the Brest Military Commandant's Office. He was a teacher at the Air Defense Department of the Military Faculty of the Belarusian State University.
Since around 2011, Pozniakov regularly traveled to Poland. And at one such trip at the checkpoint on the Polish side, an event occurred with Pozniakov that radically changed his future fate.
One day, already being a commandant of the military commandant's office while crossing the border with Poland, in Slovakia, they stopped me. An employee approached. We went into the building. They led me into an office. There was a man sitting. He was about 35 years old at that time. Short haircut. I remembered the beard called goatee. Dmitry Anatolievich, yes. What happened? What's the problem? Well, we know about you, that you are a serviceman, work in the military commandant's office. And immediately he offered cooperation. We offer you to cooperate with us. Okay, I said, what interests you? We are interested in everything related to your work, your position. We will pay to you for the information provided. Was there an intimidation on their side? No. So you voluntarily made a deal with them? Yes.
A representative of the Polish intelligence service, who introduced himself as Petr, agreed to meet Pozniakov again in a week, when he would go to Biała Podlaska for the weekend. Upon returning home to Belarus, Pozniakov did not go to the police or the KGB, but instead looked into the criminal code and found the article on treason.
Opened, as I remember now, the criminal code, looked at how much it would be for this. I familiarized myself with the criminal case, how it is all presented there. Well, my head started trembling.
You are telling me?
And wasn't it trembling when you were reading the criminal code? Even before it all started. I believed I could handle it. So did you do it deliberately?
Yes.
The first contacts are very important for the agent recruitment. You need to lull the person's vigilance, make him relax, to convince him that he is doing nothing illegal. On the contrary, that he is incredibly lucky. In fact, good money is offered for nothing. And if he takes it, that's it, it's over. He is on the hook. Surely this moment is captured on a hidden camera, documented. The person becomes an ideal target for blackmail. If he suddenly balks at cooperating with the Polish intelligence service.
We arrived, went to the coffee room. Tea? Coffee? Want to have a breakfast? I said I'll just have coffee. And we sat down to talk. I am a representative of the intelligence services. I work for the state. He took out an envelope from the bag, took it out, and counted. Then he moved it to me. He says, you get $2,000 for the visit. The conversation was already about what duties, to what I have the access. The list of commanders, to which I have the access. In Brest Garrison, the plan of the commandant's office, site, photos, that's what they showed. Did you realize that it was a criminal liability? Yes, of course. Did you take the risk?
The risk?
Then I opened the criminal code again. Yes, I figured out what was under this article if it didn't work out.
From practice, I know that ordinary Belarusian citizens, performing minor tasks for the intelligence service, believe that they have not harmed the security of the Republic of Belarus. Pozniakov received a large monetary reward for what seemed to him insignificant help to Foreign Intelligence Service. As test tasks, they often use just location on the ground, for example, or collecting travel documents, even punched tickets in public transport, collected on assignment and reconnaissance, are tasks of a foreign intelligence service and are subject to criminal liability.
Polish citizen Tomas Berza, after graduating from university, married a Belarusian and moved to live with her in the city of Berza in the Brest region. He was engaged in business, regularly traveled to his homeland to his parents, however, not only to them. There were people in his life for whom he performed covert tasks in Belarus.
It all started somewhere in 2009-2010 when I was a student of Russian philology. A person named Petr approached me. He was interested in what I was doing, whether I was going to Belarus or not. And at one of the meetings, he said that he was an employee of the Polish military intelligence as I traveled to Belarus. He was interested in, for example, in prices in stores, interest rates in banks, what people say, attitudes towards the authorities. He wrote to me by email, gave me an email address, a password to this email, and said that through this email we would communicate when you are in Belarus. There wasn't two addresses where I had mine, he had his, but there was one address where both me and him logged in. I'm a Polish citizen myself, wanted to help my country, and at that moment in the conversation, he gave guarantees that in case something happens, he said that there would be no problems, we will get you out, the Polish government will take you home, and there will be no problems for you.
Tomas Berza, a Polish citizen, has a residence permit in Belarus. In 2010, while studying at the Academy of Physical Education in the city of Biała Podlaska, he was recruited by a representative of the Polish intelligence services. Since then, he has carried out their assignments in the territory of Belarus.
From the moment of starting work with a new curator, Grzegorz, Tomasz Berza was already working on specific tasks. This included preparing cash operations and quite an important act of conducting counter-surveillance at the site of an agent operation of a Polish intelligence officer with his source.
On this site I left a box. Please specify where exactly from that side. Behind the pole. I came in from that side.
Here, at the request of Grzegorz, I coordinated the place of a possible stash to put something at his request.
We are near the highway M1. Kamenet's Ring is situated in this direction, and the freight forwarder terminal is this way. And here I took a photo of a possible stash point at Grzegorz request, so that one could read something there. And did you find this place yourself? Yes, somewhere in 2011. He told me he had a request. He gave me a phone, a regular phone with some application. He showed me how to turn it on and which application to turn on. He told to take this phone to Belarus, turn it on near the border at the Warsaw Bridge, near the border crossing, and drive with it, showed me on the map the route I should drive with this phone. And, well, to the settlement Stradec and back. And in a while I met with him, gave him this phone, and he, as it were, also, well, let's say, gave me the money for it.
For an ordinary person, some intelligence tasks may seem strange. However, if they are interested in something, it means it is truly important. One of Tomasz Berza's tasks. Polish curators asked him on a certain day at a certain time to find out how busy the parking lot at the Celsius Business Center was. He observed for several hours, and if they were interested in this, then the issue was indeed important.
To observe this place, clarify if there was any meeting, any movement at this time in this place. Record the car numbers if possible. Somewhere here, right? Somewhere near the red car? Did you park? Yes. He didn't tell me why. He said to come on such and such a day, at such and such a time, and observe the entrance to the parking lot if any movement begins. Was in the evening. In what interval? It was early spring, maybe the end of winter, and it was around 6 in the evening. It was already getting dark, or already dark. But when I left, it was definitely dark. For about 5 years, the first 5 years, I communicated with a person named Peter. Then at one of the meetings, he came with his friend, whom he called by name. Well, he introduced this friend by name Grzegorz, and said that from this moment, from the next meetings, you will no longer communicate with me, but with this person named Grzegorz, and you will continue communication as with me. He told me he needed a receipt from me, that I agreed to cooperate. This is so that he could, let's say, roughly speaking, pull me out, do everything to get me home. I wrote such a receipt. If there was something urgent or necessary, I had to call. I had to go near the border with Poland, catch the Polish network, and on the Polish SIM card, well, from the Polish SIM card, let's say, call him.
After a year of work, after checking Pozniakov's reliability and capabilities, his recruitment was secured by a cooperation agreement.
In addition, Pozniakov chooses the operational pseudonym Artem after his son's name. Usually he left the car in the parking lot. Then we took a taxi and went to one of the hotels and had a conversation. Tell me about this in more detail.
What's new? What about your service?
What military units are located where you make the checks? Well, if there were any exercises, I tell him that there were exercises and what kind of exercises. When the conversation was already coming to an end and the time is pressing, I say, I have to go. Okay. Are there any questions? No questions. He gave me instructions, then took out an envelope from the suitcase and counted, this is $1,000 for you. I need you to write a receipt for the report so that I could account for it. My name, received an amount for the trip and information transfer and signature. It varied somewhere around 3, once, I think it was 5,000. With what intelligence service did you cooperate? Did you understand it? Military intelligence, I think, because all the questions were related to it, at least with the first person. The so-called curator was interested only in this. The first one introduced himself as Petr, and later he warned whether I don't mind that because of certain circumstances there would be another curator. The latter was more interested in political issues. What are the trends? What is the mood, the attitude of the military of young people who serve longer?
Even when Pozniakov served at the Brest military commandant's office, he passed information to the Polish side about some officers and warrant officers.
Who, when travels to Poland, as well as on vacation to Egypt and Turkey, they allocated special means to this for working with secret documents, email for communication.
To make Pozniakov less suspicious, Polish curators asked to reduce his number of trips abroad. Agent meetings with him are now held during vacations when he travels with his family to Greece, Slovakia, Croatia.
Pozniakov's activity in fulfilling the tasks of the Polish military intelligence service prompted it to assign him new, more complex tasks, including without considering his operational and professional capabilities. His pursuit of information that already constitutes state secrets and could harm the security of the Republic of Belarus made him fall into the field of view of Belarusian counterintelligence.
Slovakia, Croatia, Greece. He says, you are vacationing with your family. There are jet skis there. Take them. Like, my colleague and I had a great ride. So I figured out they were on a vacation too. So they came there under the guise too, didn't they? Most likely. All the meetings were held at night. The meetings in the Polish hotel took longer time. While on a vacation, I was always with the family. You couldn't nick out for a long time, well, 15-20 minutes.
The communication channel was his trips to third countries. The Polish intelligence service offers him to pre-encrypt the prepared information and hold meetings with staff liaison officers in third countries under the guise of vacationing with his family. Pozniakov went there and transferred the corresponding medium.
There was no such thing as transmitting something over the internet, either on paper or on memory cards. Over time, he also asked me to find This was already, let's say, before my arrest, to find places. For possible, let's say, stash points of something, the instruction was that it should be near Brest, either within the city limits or somewhere near the city, such places where there were no extra eyes around. Photograph these places for him, transfer these photos on a memory card to him in Poland there, at the meeting, take the money, he gave me the money, it was a couple $1,000s, and stash in one of these places, in a box, this money, which I also did. It was in Brest, at the cemetery on Smirnov Street.
Well, there were thoughts that from that side they could also leak some information about me here. And that they would come here for me. I even got addicted to a drink. Because of this? Because of these thoughts.
There was a task to go to some garages near the military unit, to record the numbers of cars leaving these garages. It was about civilian cars, ordinary civilian cars. Now, I understand this, since the garages were near the military unit. It is quite likely that military personnel drove these civilian cars. There was a task that, let's say, when I am in Brest and generally in Belarus, and if I see a person in military uniform or something similar to a military uniform in a civilian car, then also record the car number, and I also passed on these car numbers. I helped them for more than 10 years.
Operational information was received that Pozniakov was planning to leave Belarus, to flee abroad. He informs his Polish curators about this and asks them for money to escape. A round sum was needed. Belarusian counterintelligence decides to detain him. Another detention also occurs,
And its traces already lead to the Belarusian city of Berza.
The agent who was supposed to transfer money to Pozniakov for the escape turned out to be Tomas Berza. From this post office, he sent a package to the address of a military man. A soft toy with $6,000 hidden inside. He paid 4 rubles 56 kopecks and asked for a receipt to track the delivery.
Pozniakov Dmitry Anatolievich. Recipient. Pozniakov Dmitry Anatolievich. Yes. Brest, Kravchuk Valery Pavlovich. Baranovich. Yes. Mobile 865-2470. If you want, I don't this. The fee is 4.36.
There was a zipper lock on the side of this toy, and he said that it opens. He showed me the money. There were also several $1,000s. He showed how to do it. Take an envelope, put the envelope there, close the zipper, and send this soft toy to the specified address in the name of Pozniakov. And the area is Yuzhny Gorodok. I don't remember the street name exactly, but the surname Pozniakov and the city of Brest. The instruction was to send this toy, this package, which contained money, not from my name, but from the name of a fictional character, let's say.
I believe, considering the thoroughness of the preparation of the Polish citizen, Tomas Berza, for intelligence activities on the territory of the Republic of Belarus.
He was prepared here as an illegal, and all activities were aimed at his long-term settlement on our territory.
I was detained in August 18th, 2022. At the moment, I have been in places of deprivation of liberty for more than 2 years. I was tried under Article 358 for 14 years of imprisonment. 14 years was a shock for me. I haven't seen my children for more than 2 years. I have 2 small children. 2 sons, one is now 7, the other 9 years old. I have a wife, I have parents. I haven't seen them for more than 2 years. And time goes on, I am here, they are there. This is not only my tragedy, it's not easy here. This is not only my tragedy, but the tragedy of my family, my children, my wife, my parents.
Tomas Berza is not the only Polish citizen convicted in Belarus for intelligence activities. Smuggler Jerzy Zhibolewski was recruited in the early 2000s by the commandant of the checkpoint Kuznica, Podlaskie border guard unit of Poland, Colonel Avdej Zbigniew. Zhibolewski was tested on a polygraph, whether he was already cooperating with Belarusian intelligence services. He was given a pseudonym and asked to carry out various assignments.
He is a high-ranking border guard working at the border. Maybe he was afraid that I already said that he was afraid that I would not just set him up. In principle, he was afraid that I might be working for Belarusian intelligence services. He might have thought so. That's why he wanted me to pass the polygraph. His acquaintances tested me. They asked me to buy SIM cards. Around 5-6 Belarusian ones. It was already in 2003-2004. Zbigniew met me and said, "I give you some money to compensate for your time, the gasoline, your work." He also helped me so that I could cross the border faster in line. Yes, I signed that I took the money. He didn't take it out of his pocket, didn't give his own money, because someone gave him this money. He had to report to someone. It had to be signed with some name. I couldn't sign Zhibolewski. He said, "Sign Poseidon." I signed and that was it. My relationship with Zbigniew Andrzej was trusting. I trusted him. He trusted me. Well, he just has a specific job at the border. And it was nothing for me. I was very glad.
Jerzy Zhibolewski, citizen of the Republic of Poland, lived in Grodno, was recruited by the Polish Military Intelligence Service. Operated under the pseudonym Poseidon. Collected and transmitted information on former and current military personnel of the Ministry of Defense and the State Border Committee of the Republic of Belarus on behalf of the Polish Intelligence Service. Convicted under Article 358 Priam. Agent activity.
During Pozniakov's cooperation with the Polish intelligence service, about 20 meetings were held. For the information provided, Pozniakov received about $60,000.
I didn't know how to finish it all. Were you afraid of liability or what? Or you didn't know how to come? Well, I said, I looked at the article. I wasn't afraid. I got carried away with playing. What prevented you from not going to Poland and not contact them, but to come to the KGB authorities? I would get in jail faster. I agree, nothing prevented me. Okay, go to the KGB and get to jail, but why just don't go there anymore? Not going there anymore. The variant you said. The information would probably come here. Probably yes? And were you afraid of it? Probably I was afraid. And you were afraid to go to the KGB authorities? And what is the result? I am here. What was the reaction of the family? The kids don't know. All the others were shocked. My mom had a heart surgery. My dad also had a heart surgery. I considered myself a Belarusian serviceman. But I didn't know how to get out of it. This essence would be, and what you did, that you delivered the information for money. How is it for you? How can you explain this? Who are you? So what did you do? Who are you? The traitor. Yes, I played down low. It turns out I betrayed my motherland. Of course, I regret it.
A separate task assigned to Pozniakov by the Polish intelligence service was to collect information on specific military personnel. The Polish intelligence was interested in information related to strategic partnership within the framework of the Union State, obtaining data on redeployment of military formations, participation in exercises, including within the framework of joint exercises with the Union State. This indicates that it is not just informational superiority, but conducting strategic intelligence, the purpose of which is to harm the security of the Republic of Belarus in the military sphere, as well as the possible transition of actions from cold to active military phase.
The investigative units of the State Security Committee investigated criminal cases against the military servicemen of the Armed Forces of the Republic of Belarus, Dmitry Pozniakov, for committing a crime under Article 356 of the Criminal Code for state treason, as well as the citizen of the Republic of Poland, Tomas Berza, for committing crimes under Articles 358 and 358 Crime of the Criminal Code. Pozniakov and Berza were accused of cooperating with the Military Intelligence Service of the Ministry of National Defense of the Republic of Poland in the form of espionage, disclosure of state secrets, as well as other assistance to the Polish military intelligence in conducting activities aimed at causing harm to the national security of the Republic of Belarus. On November 23, 2023, Pozniakov and Berza were found guilty by the Brest Regional Court of the crimes charged against them and sentenced to 19 and 14 years of imprisonment, respectively.
If you find yourself in a difficult situation or are being drawn into criminal activities or targeted by foreign intelligence services or other individuals, report it. Special chatbot of the KGB of Belarus. You will be protected and helped to get out of a difficult situation. This information will not only help you personally, but might also save someone's life.